This is also their map choice. Now, I don't think there is a bad map pool for Fnatic, so I'm not that fussed.
We've only seen this one and
we
one
don't
other.
really know. But they've broken the buy here. KC have such a firm grip on this game. Shin this time. Again, we know that they will rescind away from that. Too much pressure coming in. But again, the fact they're winning out these retakes, yeah, you know, strategy and consideration, execution can get you the site, can get you the plant, but it's always the teamwork, the chemistry, the trading. Play back through from a retake is normally the hardest part to work out, and it's blowing my mind we're seeing KC do this. So impressive. But on the other side, where do Fnatic look to try and find that entry point anywhere? They're finding nothing.
Normally their attack is by far the better side. The only team to beat them on this map is Lao. No other team has ever been able to do it. And right now, KC are in the driver's seat on that defensive side as well.
They're predicting this B here again. And it's right. KC have the correct read once again. Chronicle is here early though, and that's an issue until then. Magnum's got the trade out, so kind of quelling that threat. Do they quickly adjust? Dirk has got them some space, but still Magnum and Shin just fighting it out on the site. It's leaving it down to Alpha basically. Only with the Sheriff. Yes, Bulldog and Leo to try and do some damage to the back lines. But again, look at the numbers, look at the timing here. Plant gonna come down.
10 seconds
Shin
left.
closing in here.
Spike planted.
It's a little ahead of expectation. Leo not gonna be checking that just yet, but the utility's on the site. Alpha gonna need something from this. He's gonna hear them stepping closer, noting the utility now starting to dwindle down. He knows he's under the gun. A shot could be great here, and it's not gonna happen. Carmine Core once again stamping their authority on this matchup. Fnatic have no answers.
No, and you could see how confident they are in every single one of these fights. Magnum swinging back in, the blast backs from Martin into angles he knows there's players in. This is unrivaled confidence currently coming out from the KC side, and it's unusual that I've seen Fnatic ever shut down in this sort of way. 4 retakes in a row as well. They have been able to get the plant down. They've been able to get into post situations. Okay, that round was a weak buy, we should forgive them for that. But every other round hasn't.
Full retake on it.
Okay, we go again. You know, 8-4-9. Let's take a little easy here. Wheeling, able.
Correct entry first round life
because of the pushes that KC have been going for, it's even tentative on the other side from Alpha. You can see him jiggling, because there could be someone right next to him right now. He has no idea. They don't know if they're pushing up B. They've got the turret watching for that. And you can see Chronicle, he's setting up utility to try and clear up, because they know they're gonna have to fight.
And even with that kept in, Narrate is going to draw the attention. He knows they're around. And Shin's sitting safe still. They're drifting away. It's going to be Magnum.
Look at where this alarm bot is. It's outside of C.
Yeah.
So once they actually get anywhere near it, there's going to be a call almost immediately. There's a player there, and straight away, you see Martin on the map start to move back towards that C side.
Magnum buying some time as well. 30 seconds now. Fnatic not being given the luxury of timing on this one. Oh, come on! Magnum, that's gorgeous. Just takes away the tip of the spear. Dirk has been good. Not too much more, and now he can slip away. They've got the player advantage for the retake. Does Fnatic now try and find deeper on this? That is the only option that they haven't explored, is try and get the plant. But look at the time again. 10 more seconds. They're looking for a fight towards CT. Magnum on the chopping block, and he falls. It's Chronicle holding the line here. That's better. Fnatic backing themselves to take those deeper fights. But now we're down to Tomasi. Martin, Shin. Not going to happen that time for Martin. Put it in the hands of Shin and Tomasi, who are not finding the connections here. That's Fnatic finding a solution. It just took so long.
Definitely on their side, that's for sure.
Yeah.
They haven't had much to cheer about, as it's been the first 2 rounds, and other than that, it's just been blips on the radar. Everything else going in the way of KC, and you're right, the real thing there was just a bit of aggression out from Chronicle. He also uses the Viper's Pit to just lock out any sort of retake position. That was something that I think for the most part, KC had got for free throughout the majority of the rounds. They were able to get close and then get into that brawly style. This time Fnatic didn't allow it. It's safe to say though, Now going on to that defensive side, they kind of need a pistol.
Just a little bit. Seeing two sheriffs as it stands. Seeing Alpha and Chronicle both going for that. So wondering if they come in. It looks like they are. So fnatic, you're gonna need this one.
CIS aim,
It's fair. You know what I mean? Like back yourself sometimes. And I feel like I'm walking into the unknown looking at KC. You know what I mean? It's, I don't know quite what to expect from these guys, and I think neither do fnatic, but what a treat to watch. And stack towards the B site here. It's with Alpha at the floor. It's Chronicle.
What?
How many collats are we seeing today?
collateral.
Is that the second we've seen?
Yeah, Zipan had one earlier.
Bloody hell. Okay. KC making a quick run towards C after going, I don't think B's for us, really.
CIS aim beats Turkish aim. That's what I've learned.
Yeah, they're willing to just roll on this one, aren't they? Gonna have to respect it now. Tomasi, like a dog with a bone there. He was hunting that one down. He wasn't going to fall away from that. Can they isolate another? They're trying to. Boast has been noted. Let's see how far back he fell, but that paranoia is good. Tomasi has to respect it, gets the chip damage on the wing, wings down, willing to fight, but they've got to be careful here. They're being wrapped on as well. You can see it already. Durka on the way, narrates. Good, but not good enough. First step in the second half here for fnatic, but hey, they got the pistol on the first one too.
Yeah, no, it was the buy rounds where we saw the majority of the success and those retakes from KC. I will say, like, we have seen a lot more changes in this map. Like, obviously, the updates, I think, helped out at least a little bit with the defense in terms of being able to control a little bit of extra ground and having opportunities to get back into those sites if they were to lose them.
Yep.
And you can see already the way KC were playing that pistol. They're going to do similarly to what we saw from fnatic, playing these sort of slow-paced, patient rotations, trying to almost double back at points if they can.
Okay. So fnatic have to be taking those steps together. 5 rounds to the 8 of KC. You know, that buy in the first place. Remember that damage though from that first time around? Not going to be happening here. fnatic just blitzing KC. Re-establish some of that authority here. Remind them who they're playing against. Last one alive with limited options.
I think we had a very quiet first half from Durka, and this might just be his advancement into the server. I don't think he really has too many quiet games, and absolutely a flawless as well for fnatic. It's going to be a huge boost in terms of the economy. I've noticed as well, like a lot of other teams are going to go in for those like Vandals, Phantoms. fnatic actually leading quite heavily into the Bulldog in some of these bonus rounds, which is not something I thought I'd be saying. Like, I know that Mitch has been crying out for an outlaw. It hasn't happened too much. It's happened here and there. But I didn't expect to be seeing a 4 Bulldog bonus round.
I mean,
or wanted to.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it yet. Proof's in the pudding, eh? And it looks all in from fnatic though down here as well. Got to be ready for this one. Shin trying to get in the challenge here. Durka is putting himself on the line and it's working. Takes down Martin and tries to get away. Did they lose anyone? No. Barely damage done. Look how quickly they dismantle that.
Yeah, it's going to give at least a little bit of space to play with. But you know that at this point, fnatic just going to be looking to try and play that retake. Maybe do a little bit of extra damage because Shin already down on just 26 HP. The fact is KC want to try and find someone. Want to try and even the scoreline before they get into this after plant. They're going to play it super aggressive.
This post plant's really uncomfy though. Look at how little space they have. They've kind of just traded positions, right? Okay, well, KC, we're going to opt for a little bit of CT and site itself. We're not going to hold much beyond that. Tomasi's got to be careful. Find balance. Almost reminds you of that first half.
Again, he'll have the utility to delay them. That's the one major thing. It's going to be awkward, and the paranoia's missed.
Oh, but that's sharp from Tomasi with a follow-up as well. Trying to warm up here as well, but time ticking. He's got to get a move on. Not going to happen. Boosted out. There's no access to the side. Really time to play with the rate there. Just going to close it down. It is costly. But KC get their first in the second now.
Yeah, and then the fact is that was a 5v4 retake from fnatic. I actually just think KC adapted quite well. Like, they had those aggressive positions. I think Tomasi, he just went back to, as you said, his defense position. I'm going to put a snake bite down, but I think Boaster had a paranoia, and it just, I don't know if it missed him or if that was from someone else, but it didn't connect at all. So when they go swinging, it's Tomasi in a 1v1. and you can't get a
reveal
break
kanda,
to
correct
win that. He's been
ball
fantastic thus
reveal.
far.
Yeah.
And the rate now, well, you mentioned it. He
was
alright
hey,
in the first
Dimon
half.
ಮತ್ತೆ
That was a big 3K.
Yeah, it was. And this time they're putting a little bit more
I
guess attention towards trying to deal with Durka's aggression, right? We've seen him testing this now time and time again. Yeah.
It's
Well,
literally their strat to spam through that.
അതിന്റെ ability
Durka
നല്ല
gets caught
രസമുണ്ട്
by it.
ഒരു കുത്തുന്നൊക്കെ എന്ത്
He's going to be
നീറ്റായിട്ട്
suffering now, down on 8, going to lose a lot of that confidence that he was coming into this round with. He's been giving them early chances as well. In these first couple of rounds, he has been pivotal in that. Now he has to sit back a little bit deeper, play off the back of potentially Boaster or someone else.
ശരിയാലേ രണ്ട്
Cautious and carefully, KC start going forward, and that might pick up pace a little bit. Going to note the player on the site, but the Stalker's still be there, so they can't quite springboard forward. Got to be careful because Chronicle could connect. Not to be just yet. Paranoia's in there. This should be the green light for the site. Does fnatic try and get ahead of this? I doubt it. I say that. Creeping closer. No, they've respected enough of the plan, but let's see how that pressure looks when they try and come back through.
അന്ത എവിടേക്കായിരുന്നു നോക്കാൻ
I thought that spray was going to be on him then. Durka still going to do damage. Even down low. Good work from Leo. Couple more steps to be taken though. Martin and Tomasi still going to be here. This crossfire, can it hold? Boaster going to crack it open. Tomasi goes down. It's on Martin. Too many players. Too many bodies in his way. Valiant attempt, but fnatic get the defuse.
Clearly, KC feeling quite confident in their after plant scenarios, just getting themselves into that A-site quite easily. But again, I feel like the main reason you see that sort of boombot go through early is just, okay, we want to clear below. That's one of the main danger positions. And then from then onwards, you had the late rotation coming through from Alpha. Solid work from Leo as always. And we're starting to see, I think, just some of those Fnatic players actually come back into the game. Because that's the thing. You look at that first half, there were a lot of those superstars completely missing. Durka wasn't really there. I think Leo and Alpha uncharacteristically gone for the majority. And now that they're starting to play those retakes a little bit more, I think also they're not being surprised. Because when you're playing up against a retake, there's only so many places that your opponents can be.
Yeah, and for KC, it's timeout time. Going to pump the brakes themselves and have a check-in with the coach, as we can see. And he's got a whole lot to say here. So, going to try and course correct a bit since starting off this second half. It has been the 3 rounds to fnatic with the only 1 response from KC so far. And their money not going to be in a great place either. Now, KC will have that, I mean, the snowball round's not even that close by either. They haven't individually been doing enough damage to really be that rewarded from it yet. fnatic are very close by to theirs, though. You're seeing 1 off for Durka, I think Leo 1 away. I mean, Boaster's going to have his, but it is that Omen TP, so not the most important or imperative, but still, fnatic in touching distance of that, which is always a nice round to have in the pocket. What does KC do here? We know the pedigree of the coach, right? We know that he's got that capability, but what can you call in at this point? How do you deal with fnatic in these scenarios? Because as we've said before, and we'll say it time and time again, it's a very short list of teams who've managed to best fnatic, right? It is a very short list. KC add their name to it, or was it just a good half?
This map in particular, it's been nigh on unstoppable, and it looks like they're just going to go all in on this A-site control. Doug, that's surprising considering what sort of round this is. You're going to know your opponent's economy is a little bit low. Maybe thought the Chronicle would be able to back him up, but what has gone from one Guardian now becomes a rifle for Tomasi as well.
That's pretty nice. I don't like the aggression in these rounds, if I'm honest. Like, again, the fact that it's not necessarily untradeable, but incredibly hard to trade, and once that rifle's gone, it's gone. So it looks like fnatic are going to try and get proactive elsewhere at the same time.
With Chronicle playing tree, unless he killed him through a wall, it was untradeable. Like, you needed quite a lot to really get anything from that. So a bit of a gamble that hasn't really paid off, and has basically fast-track delivered a gun over to your opponents.
The narrator is trying to sell him on this C-take. Now, Alpha will stick around and see that this is just narrate here. It's only been that fade utility, so he's not going to probably fall too much for this.
They're going the other way. Like you can see the rotation already coming through from Leo in the direction of his teammates. So that fake didn't really sell anyone at all.
Okay, but it tees up the trade. They'll put their bodies on the line. Oh, come on, Chronicle! Shin tries to make it away, and that's the rifle now still just in hands of Tomasi here. He's got Magnum with him. Can they isolate? And oh my good God, Chronicle has no idea how close he is. And how close they are! He lost sight of it for a second, and now they've got a plan. 2v2. 10 seconds. A tap on the spike. They didn't even commit to this. They're trying to throw him out, throw him in. Boaster, he's going to find Magnum. Oh, Tomasi! Time, 3 seconds. Oh!
Oh, Monaco.
That's obscene!
Oh shit.
He just toyed with Boaster and
ഇതെന്ത്
won!
കളിയാ?
He's in his head rent-free after that.
Can't believe it.
That is filthy!
You've just taken one of the best IGLs we
നമ്മളൊക്കെ
have.
ആണെങ്കിൽ ഒരാളെ കൊന്നിട്ട് ഓടലാണ് അവനെ കയറി വന്ന്.
And he's just made him look a fool. There wasn't even enough time to plant. Bosa was going purely off
അയിലാ
back.
ഞാൻ
He
വിചാരിച്ചു
has to
രണ്ടാളും
steal this.
കിട്ടും.
It would be illogical to do anything else.
That is...
But that's what this team does. That's
That's
how they play with them.
അതാണ് ഫേക്ക്.
Yeah, he knows what he's done. Look at him. Look at him. He knows it too. Oh man, that's a confidence boost as well. That's a crushing round for Fnatic. That was one rifle being lost at a very bad time. Lovely work in unison for KC to isolate more fights there. They didn't fall for the fake, but they fell for everything
ആരോ ഒന്ന്
else.
കൊമന്റിൽ പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുണ്ടായിരുന്നു.
It's double digits for KC
ഡിച്ചിന്റെ
now.
കൊമന്റിൽ
Fnatic have that smoke around
KC
here on hand.
അയച്ചാ
Yeah,
ഞാൻ
the lockdown's not quite
uninstall
there, but still they have
ചെയ്യുന്നു.
everything else.
Okay.
The Chronicle lacking
Hello.
Durka, not ideal, so they're gonna try and make it work with almost a
Abu
Buster.
Machan.
അവള് മറ്റേ
Slacking
വാച്ച്
financially.
പാർട്ടി
And in the first half,
Match
I did
party
thought
എന്തുന്നാ
a lot
ചെയ്യാൻ
of
പോണെ?
their owns didn't really have the
അതല്ല.
impact of Fnatic desired them to
ടൂർണമെന്റാ.
have.
ഓ
Looking like KC might be on that
നടക്കട്ടെ ഞാൻ
all-in
വെറുതെ
down line.
കണ്ടപ്പോ കേറിയതാ.
A Viper's pit
അങ്ങനെ
might be
ഉള്ളത്.
enough to secure the
ഞങ്ങൾ
utility.
കണ്ടിട്ട് കൊറേയില്ലേ.
I mean, that's still
എത്ര
exceptional. They're
കാലായി
standing.
ഇതൊക്കെ
How is
ഇടയ്ക്ക്
Chronicle and Alpha alive?
ലൈവില്
ഞങ്ങൾ
വാ.
അപ്പുറത്തുണ്ടായിരുന്നത്.
Beautiful from them to stem the
ലൈവില്
wave
വാ
of
ഫുണ്ടേ.
Well, you're running away from that one. There's your answer, Fnatic having enough of the fun from KC.
നിങ്ങളിപ്പോ എന്താ കാട്ടില്?
Magnum and Narrate.
പ്രത്യേകത വെറുതെ വിസിൽ വന്നിട്ട് എന്തെങ്കിലുമൊക്കെ സംസാരിച്ചിട്ട് പോയി കളയും.
You've been good. Let's see how good.
അല്ല ഒരാളും ചത്തിയില്ല.
ഇല്ല ഫനാറ്റിക് നല്ല കളി കളിച്ചവിടെ
5 seconds.
സ്വീകരണമാക്കിയാ പറ്റും ആളെ
Exactly where he is. And
That's an
absolutely
answer.
flawless as well.
That's your answer.
ചാറ്റില് സ്പാം എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞ് സ്പാം
ഈ ടൈം
This is going to be a game, isn't it? That's a
They will
nice way to kind
prepare
of
you.
correct some of the issues as well. Just an instant response.
Just watching Martin just fly.
നിങ്ങളുണ്ട് ഞാൻ പോവാനിരുന്ന
I think it's worth
Okay.
mentioning as well,
Bye.
like, you have to bear in mind where some of these players
Ni-
come from. Thomas
ഇടക്കിടക്കൊക്കെ അങ്ങോട്ടേക്ക് ഇറങ്ങി.
was playing
Okay.
for Saul
ഇനി
last
ഞങ്ങൾ
season.
ഞാൻ നേരെ വേലയിലട കയറിയ.
Yeah.
They managed to get
That's
to the
right.
region.
Watch
They did
party
alright. They did
മാത്രാ.
quite well for the team that they had.
അല
He's come
കയറുമ്പോ
in here, he
ഡിസ്കോഡ്
switched
കയറിയപ്പോ
roles
കൂടി
from a
വേണ്ടിയിട്ട്.
duelist
ഓ എല്ലാരും സ്മോക്ക്
and is now top
ബ്ലൈൻഡ്.
of the board on Viper.
നീ പോയില്ല അപ്പുറത്താ പോയി. ശരി എന്നാ ഗുഡ് നൈറ്റ്.
Okay, Dean ഉണ്ടാവില്ലല്ലോ.
അതെ ഞാൻ ഡീനോ അപ്പുറത്തുണ്ടായി. പിന്നെ പഴയ ലൈവൊക്കെ ഇരുന്നിട്ട് നൊസ്റ്റാൾജിക് വരുന്നത്.
It's interesting that Martin has both the rifle
Up a good
and his
pick.
ult. I
ഓക്കടാ.
almost feel like it might be a better idea to give it to Narrate. Let him try and, if it gets to a point where that showstopper
എടാ
work out.
എന്റെ മോനെ കറക്റ്റ്
ഇത് മോയിനെ കൊണ്ട് ഒരു ഉപകാരമില്ല.
That's a rifle. Now we've got 2, Martin and Narrate.
ഓ
Martin's gone down.
Oh,
That's good from
well
Leo
done.
there.
എടാ ഇതൊക്കെ ഇങ്ങനെ ബോൾ ബാഗ്
അതൊക്കെ ബോൾബാൻ
I
അടിക്കാൻ
know,
പറ്റുമോ?
this is obscene.
ദൈവം തമ്പരനറിയാം
ഇതൊക്കെ
spike
കിടിലം
yet.
പ്ലേസ് ആണല്ലോ അടിക്കാൻ വേണ്ടിട്ട്. ലേ
Trying to go for that rifle. They're just...
ഓ
ഷിന്നിന്റെ അടി തുടങ്ങി
Okay.
പിന്നെ സീനാണ്.
ക്ലീൻ അടിയാണ് ഷിന്നിന്റെ എല്ലാം
Keep on. Alpha, you're
ഒരു
lucky.
വിഫില്ല
You're a
ഒന്നുമില്ല
lucky boy.
സ്പ്രേയും
They
ഇല്ല
spiked
കറക്റ്റ്
it right.
ഹെഡാണ് അവന്റെ അടി
He's given them a little bit of safety at B, right? He's warded off
ഭയങ്കര
Alpha.
അടിയാ
They don't quite know where Leo is to an extent,
30 seconds
and they've got to know where Boaster was. So they've put together a picture, but where do they go with this? They've got to get proactive.
Nah, right,
right? They've
Nicole,
got to
nalloണം
find these
കളിക്കണ്ട.
3 players, otherwise they're screwed.
Well, the question is, does Fnatic throw in a lockdown as well? Because they have the util to force them off the site, but it would be such a costly round for them.
കേജ് ഉണ്ട് ഫനാറ്റിക്കിന്
That's Shin.
Oh!
That's
അയ്യയ്യേ.
belting from Shin.
ഓ
അതില്
ഇത്ര
പോയി.
ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു
പക്ഷെ അടിപൊളി എന്ത് ഷോട്ട്
That's a
എന്താ?
lot to do.
ആ
with
ഒന്ന്
2
ഭയങ്കര
very
അടിയാണ്
unfavorable angles to work with.
clean
Look at
shot
that
ആണ്.
happening against Young.
ഞായറാഴ്ചയൊക്കെ വെറുതെയാണ്
Still got it, still clean with it. And the fuse gonna come in.
ഞായറാഴ്ചനെ കടന്നാൽ അടിപൊളിയായിട്ട് കളിക്കാറുണ്ട് ഷിന്ന്
Just creeping back into the game now. 9 to 10, very close by here.
Yeah, you can see though in
They
every
gotta
single
go
round
like
they're
it.
making them sweat.
Oh yeah.
Like even if
Oh.
Fnatic turn this around, I
short
think you have to look
of it?
at this from KC's perspective and go,
Ah,
there were
സാധനം
many,
കണ്ട
many rounds that they
scene
could have been able to steal away,
Yep.
just off some individual brilliance, off of Fnatic maybe looking a bit shaky in some of these and taking big risks. Like, Durka gets 2 kills there, but again, it's still a scenario where they give a rifle over to the opponents in an eco round.
Yeah, that was an eco round. That's the thing, is an eco round with a hero rifle left in it. Now, it's speaking of snowball rounds, right? Roll your minds back. Remember, we're talking about, look at what's coming online for Carmine Core here. Yes, missing the rates, but everything else is looking pretty good. Martin going to take the early space again. This is that traditional back and forth, right? We're going to see this so often. Now, we do have the lockdown for Alpha. Chronicle's got his, so some big ults still sitting in the pockets of fnatic as well. Round changes.
They can gamble a bit more though, because Dirk has got that operator over on the C side, so he can just play
Fnatic
passive
spread
angle for the opener. And that
എല്ലായിടത്തോളം
means that they can have 2, 3, maybe even more over on this A side.
നേരെ 3 already.
Stalled out here.
എല്ലാം ഓർഡർ നോക്ക്.
Stuck on the door.
കംപ്ലീറ്റ് ആളോടി.
Ideal. They do have the site control. Not perfect, but it's
Monster
job
main-
done to an
main level
extent.
of
It still got them what they needed, and there's the follow-up ult as well. So this is ult to get on site, ult to secure plant. Can they then bolster around it? I'm seeing if Martin feels that timing.
Okay, they're all
Does he
topic
feel the
on it.
timing on this one? We're going to see the lockdown coming into boot. This is everything. The kitchen sink. Alpha has slipped down towards the side.
Oh, counter
Oh,
ult.
my God, he got caught. Shin's going to find Alpha. Magnum going to catch Chronicle, and now there's problems. Boaster can't get away with this. He's
Petty.
The turret's gonna get him!
Oh, okay. Tomasi gave him a way out, if anything. A mercy killing at this point. Durka and Leo, what are you going to do here? What can you do about this one? There's nothing to be done. That snowball round is deadly for a reason, and Leo going to have to do the unthinkable. It's not going to happen. KC invests a lot, but they get the round with 3 standing.
Yeah, and they've reacted really well because Alpha goes into the site to put that lockdown in because it's
when
the
I
only
would
thing
have
that can
put them at
force Tomasi out of the pit, because that pit is so far back
Okay.
that it actually was disgustingly good. The problem is then Boaster tries to run in and just gets caught, and that's the changing part of the round. They were just a little bit too late to strike a lockdown. He gets detained, and the other 2 players have had to pull back the meantime, otherwise they're going to lose the round completely. But KC, they fell back all the way out, kept the pit up. Tomasi was willing to take that risk, and it ends up working out for them. And that's the thing. He has been someone who we've seen gamble throughout rounds, but every single time in a way that is just successful for his team.
And I like this timeout from KC. Now, that round felt like, again, yes, it was a snowball one. It was off the back of a great deal of ults. They haven't been having that traditional success obviously that they had on the first half. Way better in form. So maybe just a touch base, try and give them that last communication to close out this game for themselves. Because again, Fnatic's buy isn't perfect, but they're still at the point of being very operational. It's not enough that you haven't broken them completely. So in my mind, you're looking at this, whatever this last command coming out from the coach of KC is, it better be a good one. Because still, those final rounds are some of the hardest, and Fnatic will fight you to the very end. There is not a moment where they go, I guess we lost. These guys are relentless, and they are good enough to claw it back from 12, let alone 11. So let's keep that in context here. This is only 3 rounds that KC have managed on this half. Fnatic have been far more in control now.
This is going to be difficult now because you've got the Viper's Pit. That's going to sort of pad the difference between that Spectre and anything else, and that will force them back into Boaster, who has an Odin. You're not going to be expecting that when the Viper's Pit is on the other side, because it's normally Chronicle using that Odin to spam through the walls. They try and pressure through this. They do have Nightfall. That's the one sort of counter that could cause issues for Chronicle, but again, it is Chronicle. He's still been having a great game.
Yeah, I rarely doubt Chronicle. There's a couple of players that you just think solid as a rock, and he is one of them. Absolute backbone of a team at times. In case he didn't like what they saw there. Pop a little bit of utility down from Magnum to keep check. At least he did for a second. And now they're exploring the other side of the map. Opting away from the Viper's Pit. Maybe looking to add a little pressure through B late, but we can see that Durka is keeping tabs on this too. KC not feeling too much resistance yet. Deep, so it does make you wonder what's going to be going on here. And that's what Boaster, you got to do well here. This is a lot of pressure coming your way. Leo isn't quite connected until he dips back further north. Tomasi outdoes him. And now that's site open. Leo sat towards CT, can't do much to dissuade this now.
Yeah, the whole play was around Boaster getting something. They don't have any ults even remotely close to being online, and this retake, it doesn't look like a great spot, but at the same time, they can't fight down there either. They kind of have to do something.
There we go. They're making it go. Martin could not care less. Gorgeous connection. I'm pulling the plug on this round. They're still testing the waters here. Chronicle. Alpha. Oh, this guy. Absolute animal. I just don't know what to make of some of these players. KC up to 12.
I know,
we said it at the start, any given Sunday, there's something in the air. You know, we've already had one upset today, right? You know, you could call the first game an upset. Maybe that's 60-40%, maybe even 70-30 if you're going really far. But for KC to beat Fnatic here...
So they've gambled an ult, they spent everything they have, and it's an Andalusia flawless for them to get to 12. Like, this is not a team scraping by. I think that's been the most exciting thing. There you go.
This means the world to them. This is, you know, it's not the ticket yet to Madrid, but it's getting you, you know, you can see the plane, you can see Spain not that far away. You're getting close. You're doing it against Fnatic. The audacity almost to do it. And again, they test, they tempt, but it's Alpha. Is this where it stops? It's Chronicle by his side. Big boys there having none of what KC are trying to sell today. Down to Tomasi and Shin. This is a brutal round to try for Alpha. Just Shin. Not looking likely. Great shot to start. And Boasters there. Safe around to the end. Fnatic answer back, it's 10. Not going down without a fight here.
That's the thing that KC have to realize is they can have a pause, they can give a moment to their coach to talk them through, come up with a plan, come up with an idea, but the second this comes close, the second there's an opportunity, that's when Fnatic strike. And for now, not going to do too much damage to the economy. Like, that's the main thing. The worry, though, is that KC are very far away from having the majority of ults. Okay, from the shadows, not a great deal. Showstopper a couple away. Everything else, probably not going to be coming up. And on the other side of things, Showstopper's close. Again, similarly, the ults aren't there. But that was where Fnatic were really thriving in a lot of these rounds.
Go again. I'm nervous. I'm watching this like I'm a viewer, but careful now. That spike's in hand. And position. I haven't seen this yet, but Shin goes down near him without a fight. Leo isolated, not letting that. They had no idea they crept up. Boaster hadn't called it back. So still, this is a messy round, and that's a problem. Tomasi keeps them with at least a touch of a player-to-player number that's in check. It's 3-3 on both sides. They've got the spike back. They've got a potential towards the A site. Leo, the backbone at times. The Iceman himself pressured. Oh, he's going to be good for one, but they need a little more here. 2v2 here. Chronicle still shoulder check. Tomasi creeping closer. Perfect work in unison from KC. And Alpha, the Wonder Kid himself. And he keep Fnatic in this map. There is truly the unthinkable happening here on map 1. 1v2. Time to Alpha's chance. Spike ticking away. He slipped ahead of that. Not going to be revealed. You can see the util though. Does he get a touch on this? He does. For the swing, the look. He takes down one. He dips away. This could be a masterclass, and it's not from Alpha. It's KC going against the odds on map 1. So I can't believe what we have just witnessed.
No, Tomasi again. Like, he has been an unbelievable force. In his first matchup versus Fnatic, his first map. Teams don't beat them here. They don't beat them on Lotus. They've just won Fnatic's map pick and now get to go into their own choice, which is Split, where they have one of the spiciest comps we've seen.
And keep in mind, this is for Madrid. This is the game that matters. Don't go anywhere.
ഫോണൊന്ന് ചാർജ് ചെയ്തിട്ട്
എന്താണ് വിചാരിക്കാത്ത ഓരോരോ ജയിച്ചോണ്.
ശരി, പുതിയ ടീമൊക്കെ ഒന്ന് അടിച്ചുറക്കാണ് ഇപ്പൊ.
ഒന്നും ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റില്ല. ഇപ്പൊ എപ്പോഴാ അടുത്ത കളി? അത് പെട്ടെന്ന് വരില്ലേ?
30 സെക്കൻഡ്.
വെള്ളം എടുത്ത് വരാം. മറ്റവർ ഇത്ര കളി കളിക്കുന്ന എനിക്കറിയാം. എന്തേനു ഒമ്മന്റെ പേരെന്തേനു?
ഏതാണ്? കേസിലാണോ?
ഒമ്മൻ ആ കേസിയില്
അതാ ടമാസയോ?
ഇത് വൈപ്പർ ഒമ്മനില്ലേ?
മറ്റേ പേരെന്തായിരുന്നു?
കളി
ഷിന്നാണോ?
ആ ഷിന്ന് എങ്ങനെമാര് കളിയില്
വിഷയമാണോ?
കൊണ്ട് കളിക്കുവാ.
അവന്റെ എയിം വെറുതെ ക്രിസ്പി ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ.
And yeah, Fnatic, because yeah, it's Fnatic. I really respect Bolster too, and yeah, it's like the kings of Europe. So yeah, I want to like play against them.
Oh, the Kings. They could be dethroned today if Tom Mazzy keeps up that performance from map 1. Here he is in the AIM Labs warm-up. And my God, those shots were on target. I'm back here with Kakuka and Lothar. It's going to be a day of upsets. We could potentially see back-to-back upsets. Someone somewhere out there is manifesting this.
Hear me out. If somebody had all of this in their predictions, like the week that we've had, and especially this playoffs, please send me a DM or, I don't know, buy some
lottery tickets. Yeah.
Maybe he was just doing random stuff, you know, and it's like, oh, I got it, you know.
No.
But absolutely incredible performance from KC. Not only they lost 2 pistol rounds and didn't get any anti-eco, so they lost essentially 0-4, the most important rounds of the map. They still won 13-10. Not only that, we have seen them how they well played together. Like Tomashi dropped 2 4Ks, 26 kills. We have seen Raze also pop off with 1 more 4K, so that's 3 4Ks in 3 rounds.
Yeah, we got to talk about those retakes because they built themselves up such a nice lead to go into the second half. All of this was just on point.
Yeah, exactly, because we saw 2 faces of KC in the same time span of the round. Like at the beginning, even though they were defending, they would be more aggressive. They would try and push Fnatic to not be comfortable. And then at the same time, we would see retakes that were perfectly orchestrated, where everything was falling onto place. They were peaking at the right time all together, and honestly, putting Fnatic in a very, very complicated position.
Look, from the last times I was playing, watching KC, every time They were doing retakes every time. They were
Fnatic-ന്റെ ഒരു plan ഉം
moving
നടക്കണില്ല.
I was always just saying to myself, nice. You know, it's just enjoyable to watch because you see the spacing being correct. You see how players are trading each other, and you see that there's just no spot where it's not looking nice. And that's something that Fnatic have been really struggling with. When the opponents are moving as a unit, they cannot really play the numbers advantage. They're failing, and that is a big reason why KC was able to even perform in this entire tournament.
And just look at this head-to-head that we're seeing right here, Martin versus Durka. Now, usually we see Durka having the upper hand, being the duelist, probably the most consistent in the world before this. Exactly. He was just a consistent demon. But what is going on? Maybe we haven't seen enough of him so far because this is just the third map. But definitely, he was very uncomfortable. He is being caught off guard in many situations. And I feel like, not finding the kills with the ultimate, as I said, being found in those positions, I think that it probably is affecting him mentally, that he's not being able to perform.
Yeah, but what a start for Martin as well. Yes. This guy, he was doing well in tier 2, but the fact that he could do this against Fnatic is basically showing us how why these teams are winning the region that we are. But moving on to the next map as we look at Agent Select, what are we expecting from Split?
I mean, I was expecting maybe some kind of change within Fnatic. We know that you can still play this composition, obviously. But, I was expecting something more cheeky, maybe a little bit more away from that sky, maybe more into the double controller. Or something along those lines. What do you think, Luther?
Well, I feel like that's sky was actually costing a lot of teams in the previous matches the maps because you running out of the utility so fast. You're losing the map control so fast. I'm really worried about Leo's performance on the sky when it comes to the utility, not about this decision making or destroying. But from the other side, we have the calming pop, a very unique composition with an absolute banger.
Oh, I smell an upset coming. And what a great day it would be if we're sending K-Core and Heretics, Pansy, and all of the teams to Masters Madrid. Because that is what is at stake here.
There's
something happening. It does feel unnerving being here. KC picking up map 1. Hey, that was fantastic. Doing that on Fnatic's map choice. It's a rare accolade. It's a very short list that just had another name added to it. But can you do it again? Can you walk into a map like Split and push Fnatic aside?
rebuilds in history from 10th
place
in the regular season. Beating Fnatic to qualify to the first Masters. Who predicted that? Who isn't French?
I think Steel did. I genuinely think Steel actually predicted KC to do well.
He doesn't know anything about you.
That's true. That's true. And oh god, Alpha's dead. Alpha was dead 30 seconds ago, but he just didn't know it yet. Bond's gonna come in. KC. This looks like I mean, okay, Pincher, we've got a flash with Leo. Be fine, right? We don't have a late mid lurk coming out from Magnum that you got to worry about. He's buying loads of time as well. He's gonna hear all these steps. He's heard them. He's seen them. And that's another one.
This is
nerve-wracking. I'm getting nervous watching this.
There's so many low players though. That's the only thing in Fnatic's favor. I don't even know if they clear Martin. At this point, who's still sat in that corner without swinging?
That's a Marley.
Why would you? Like literally, you're fighting his teammate on the corner for a good 5 seconds. Martin's like, oh, you got this, bro. You don't need my help.
Even in the കാട്ടിയതില്ലേ
in the best possible way.
ആ സൈഫർ ഒറ്റ കില്ല്
What's
എടുത്തില്ല
interesting about this match is there's two different sides to the coin. Fnatic have come in with exactly the same composition
അതും
they're running
വൺ
last
വേ
year.
ആണ് മറ്റേത്
KC
കേജ്
have come in something I expect Angel to come up with. Like it's just some, or maybe Team Liquid last year. Sorry, Sliggy. Or maybe the year before that.
No, blame
Sliggy. I literally mean it is his comps, double smokes. Like that's a Sliggy thing to do.
Well,
didn't work with Liquid though.
Wow. Neither did Sliggy.
He's in the next room.
He banned me from his chat. He deserves it.
അതാണ് നല്ലത്
Let's see if they can keep it clean here.
അവരെങ്ങോട്ടാ കാശിക്ക് പോവാലോ
സീറ്റ് റോട്ടേറ്റ് ചെയ്തവന്നെ
Not particularly easy. The ball coming out. Is it here? This is going to be it's just free farm.
വല്ല കാര്യം ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു
Take what you can get at this point. You just want to kind of get the
Wow.
He just wants it all himself, does
Oh.
he? And he's going to get it near all himself.
Thomas ഇതില്
But still,
4K.
beautiful stuff here. KC.
എന്റെ മോനെ
എന്ത് കളിയില്ലേ?
ഇത് ഫാനാറ്റൊക്കെ തോക്കണല്ലോ.
I disagree with that. His ult, yeah, you don't want
ഇങ്ങനെ
that.
പോയി
But just how
ജയിക്കാത്തതല്ലേ ഇല്ലേ?
confident this kid has been playing. Give him the frags. Let him do what he wants.
അതൊക്കെ നല്ലോണം കളിക്കാനുണ്ട് ഒരു
He was the
കാലത്ത്.
best player again.
Oh.
I know that people have been watching. You
I'll
might be upset.
call it.
He was the best player in a server with Fnatic in the last
And
map
Tomsy.
on Lotus. Like there's barely anyone who could sit there and go, even if you beat them somehow, you're not going, oh, I was the best player in that game. Like normally Alpha's there, normally someone is there. But Thomas is best at the moment.
Okay, let's focus in on KC here because they've got a decent purchase in this one. I mean, Fnatic obviously going to be coming in with the first real touch of weaponry. Chronicle, gotta be careful to not isolate. What is going on? Harry's going to be greedy. No trade, nothing.
Yeah, that's the thing.
അവിടുത്തെ അനങ്ങാണ്ട് വെച്ചോടാ ട്രേഡ് എടുത്തില്ല.
Allow you to create chaos. And that is exactly what
നമ്മളെല്ലാവരും
KC
അവിടെ
want.
സ്കൈ
They
സ്കൈ.
want to face you up close. They want this stinger to be able to bridge the gap. Boaster now under pressure, has support from Alpha at the back of the site, but KC will pick up the pace and then slow right back down. Let you get in your own head. I'm also just looking at where Tomazi still is.
Yeah, Boaster, good paranoia there.
അവിടുത്തെ അടി കണ്ട്.
Trying to buy a little bit of time.
Okay.
Shin's on the way though. And Boaster's position is running short. He can't stick around here too long. He's going to have to call in Alpha, which he is doing. But Narrate, Durka with the drive-by. That removes a little bit of the problem, right? So they can hit those rotations, but they aren't. They're still sticking where they are. This is so much faith in Alpha and Boaster. This is a lot on the plate. There's bodies everywhere. Boaster going to bail him out with another. That's brilliant. And again, lovely work from Boaster. Precise work.
അടിപൊളിയായിട്ടിരിക്കുക കറക്റ്റ് ബോക്സിന്റെ ബാക്കിലൊക്കെ ആടിയാണ്.
കറക്റ്റ് ബോക്സിന്റെ
I'm
ബാക്കിലേക്ക്
a
ആടി.
little bit surprised he was able to stay up there as long as he was, but it seemed
അവനാ
like
ചാടി
KC
കൊണ്ട്
maybe
അവിടെ
a little bit
നിലനിന്നു.
more tentative in this
അതെ
round
അതൊക്കെ
as to
സത്യം.
whether or not they force him. I think they were also just giving time for Narrate because although he doesn't win that duel,
അതൊക്കെ ഇടുന്നതാണ്.
it's still a little bit
അതൊരു
scary
നല്ല
that he was
ഐഡിയ
able
കേട്ടോ.
to get there in the first place and it took somebody wide
ഇപ്പുറത്തെ ഒരാളെ
swinging
സപ്പോർട്ട്
player
ചെയ്യാനാണോ?
down towards Spawn to
അതെ
actually
അല്ലെങ്കിൽ
clear
ബാക്കി
out
കൂടെ
position.
തീർക്കും.
Even still, I don't know if Fnatic can let
അവിടെ
them have
റേസ് ആണ്
that
ബാക്കിൽ നിന്ന്
space. Like
സപ്പോർട്ടും
you're talking
കൊടുക്കുന്നുണ്ട്.
about A-Heaven
ബാക്കിൽ
being
കൂടെ
pushed
കയറാതിരിക്കാൻ
all the way
വേണ്ടി.
into Spawn.
അതെ.
Like they get away with it this time, but I want to see a little bit more control.
Okay, let's keep an eye on that. I mean, Chronicle does look to be trying to maybe
Right.
support towards Boaster a little bit
ഈ
closer.
ക്യാമറ ഇവിടെ
I'll
വെച്ചേക്കണം.
get caught out.
വിട്ട് വിട്ട്.
The jiggle jump flash.
A classic, yeah. They're not really put off by this by any means. They're still progressing up towards middle. That does look like a triddle right there. It's Zilf, Chronicle.
He couldn't even get the flash out.
ക്രോണിക്കലിന് ഭാഗ്യമില്ല കേട്ടാ.
This feels like bullying. I'm about to call in the bully hunters at this point. This feels
അവനെ
unfair.
bully
Chronicle.
ചെയ്യാനാണ്.
It's just been manhandled every round. And it's going to be Boaster and
But
again
it's
Alpha.
more
Those two were
cardio,
exceptional last time, but how many times
smoke
can we ask
is
them to do
actually,
this? And it
yeah.
looks like
Smoke
KC have
is-
got the space this time
Slide
again.
it. Oh.
Boaster again trying to
രണ്ട്
defend with his
ഈ
life. It's
Boaster
still
ആട്ടാ
Alpha
കളി
here, so
മാറ്റുന്നത്.
they've got so much more to do. 40 seconds. They're still eyeing up this B side. The cavalry's on the way. Leo's coming over. Dirk is coming over. And KC don't have the same amount of room.
The only scary thing is if they can actually two-man push into Alpha. They've done
Oh.
just that. Leo with the trade.
Great
Oh,
trade
നല്ല
back though from
trade.
Tomasi.
One
Not
minute.
slip away from the
ചത്തി
1v2.
ചത്തി ചത്തി
Dirk
ഡർക്കേ.
here.
Oh.
Not gonna happen. Shin prowling around finding him.
സ്കിന്നിന്റെ അടുത്താ കിട്ടി.
They
അപ്പൊ പിന്നെ
are
പറയാനുമില്ല.
individually
നല്ല തോക്കിന്റെ
bit by
മോനാ
bit
ഉണ്ട്.
breaking
പിന്നെ
apart
ബുൾഡോഗിന്റെ
Fnatic.
Yeah, I think Fnatic kind of hoped that smoke would fade. They'd have timing to
Bro,
get
മറ്റേ
a
ആ
more crossfire, but they just don't allow it. And that's the thing. It wasn't even the swing coming out from Tomazi. It was just a raw fight taken by Narrate. He just feels confident in his ability and has a decent idea of where Alpha's going to be because it was exactly
വെള്ളം
what
വെള്ളം കുടിച്ചാളുടെ.
ഓക്കെ.
And
കളി കണ്ട്
it
വെള്ളം
just
കൂടി
feels
ദാഹിച്ചെന്നു.
unthinkable that they've been able to do this time and time again. Alpha's one of the best on this. In any of these scenarios, Alpha is so good. And again, they've gone for a gamble play here, Fnatic. Maybe feeling that, they're surely going to switch up and hit an A piece now. Surely, with everything they've got, this would make sense. You know, they've got X ults, they've got this going for them. No. They've done a very similar look here. Again, a little bit of an early look towards B, force the rotations back, almost back to this default for Fnatic. The adjustments Boaster. That Judge has got to deliver here. No look towards Chronicle, so they know that something's different. They know that something has changed. And you can see the response. Yep, there it is. Red alert. They can't walk into that lightly, and they don't. They force him away as far as possible. Narrate's looking for Alpha. That's what he wants. Can he spot him out in time? Oh, Alpha, that's so audacious to try and go for that, but he knew his life was numbered. His time was dwindling. Boaster can't hit a barn door with it. Desperate to try and find a connection, but still, look who's still lingering around. There's still players up here. Shin's still up here.
Ooh.
Gets cleared out by Durka. That's the difference. Finally, they have a step forward.
Still with a chance in this round. They've got the heals available if they need it, but right now everybody on Fnatic is healthy.
left.
It's Narrate who's low.
Trying to get that plant down. Chronicle! He's had enough of being pushed around this map. He wants in, and he gets it. That is classic Chronicle there. Lovely work for the man who's not really found his footing until then.
No, a lot of this has
Chronicle പകരം വീട്ടി around.
fights though. As said, like I think at least what it feels like is KC are using these smokes to make things scrappy, and then Fnatic are having to almost go down to their level. It's something we talk about with a lot of top teams. Sometimes they get dragged into positions where they have to almost box their way out. Looking like Fnatic might try and take a little bit more initiative in this round, though. And it's, the only thing is they always seem to do it when their opponents are low on cash.
God, and there's the hero rifle again. It'll be fine. It'll be fine this time. Right? Straight up through heaven again. They love this mid-pressure KC. Durka, this angle can be quite deadly. Not going to get what he wants from it, though. Going to have to rescind away full. And they forced him a little deeper. They're losing some of that control towards the middle. Again, keep your mind towards Narrate here. Everyone else is on classics. They're trying to cause a little bit of an issue. And actually, Durka's in a lot of danger. Close down towards him. They're going to keep him safe.
Flash ആയിട്ടാണ് അടിച്ചത്.
And now it's just down the shin.
എങ്ങനെ കിട്ടി
ആ ഫ്ലാഷ് ആയിട്ട് ചാടിയത്
Very cold, and then suddenly it's
Yeah. The thing is, though, I think actually it's been Boaster a lot of the time who's been able to quell this onto a flyer individually. Tomasi as well, like, I think it was 5-0, slowed down a little bit for some of those early rounds, and we're starting to see them go for the same sort of play again. A lot of it has been this sort of towards the B side. I think Fnatic are starting to do well. Okay, we'll take some B main control because there's only been Tomasi there for the majority of rounds, and it does look like even without some sort of pause, they've realized what their opponents are doing.
And to be fair, if we're going to be talking very
maximum score
really pulling punches, you expect that from someone like Fnatic.
Yeah.
They are a championship winning level team. They should be able to adjust on the fly. So we are starting to see that come into effect, which is hopefully going to bolster their scoreboard numbers. It's 3-3 still. Durka trying to make the most of the utility in mid by isolating one of the players, but they've already drifted ahead. Now, this camera has been the downfall of many.
ബ്ലൈൻഡ് ഉണ്ട് ആ രണ്ട് ബ്ലൈൻഡ് ഉണ്ട്
Yeah, you can see the response. Chronicle.
അയ്യോ
Camera goes, so they've got to be a bit more
അയ്യേ
careful now, but they
കിട്ടിയ
know this
പൊളിയില്ലേ ആൾട്ട്
അത് കൊണ്ട് എല്ലാം പെട്ടാനായിട്ട്
B main. It's a little bit late though. Like the rest of the rotation will take
Alto
out both. They
അടിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ
can use from the
എല്ലാം
shadows
പോയി
to get in time, but it looks like
പറഞ്ഞത്
they may
നമ്മളെ കണ്ടവിടെ ഒരു
try
കണ്ടില്ലേ
to play retake.
പക്ഷെ ആ പ്രഡിക്റ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ മോന് കഴിവുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ അവൻ ആരായിപ്പോയി
on the site though. Keep that in mind. They forced Fnatic back towards CT. Spike's about to cross and go down.
ആ കളി
As
ജയിച്ചാൽ
I said,
അതിട്ടെങ്കിൽ
they have a 5v3 on the side, so they're being
Oh,
very,
they are
very
worth
careful to
altitude.
not fall
Andino.
prior to this.
ഇനിയിപ്പോ ഇവിടെ ആൾട്ട്
Magnum's position could work well with Tomasi. Chronicle trying to clear.
Oh,
This is the
ഒളിച്ചിരിക്കണ
retake
ഇവിടെ
starting
നഷ്ടം
from heaven. This is scary times. Martin trying to get all the attention, but it's actually Tomasi to fall. Durka gonna prime out of the position. Magnum now swings, and he takes down Chronicle. The timing on this is not good at all. But shit on the trade. Narrate's gone undetected.
അതാ കോള് കൊടുത്തില്ല
Still standing, takes
അവിടെ
down
ആളുള്ള
Durka.
കാര്യം
It's messy as
ഇല്ല
hell, but it's still
കൊടുത്തിട്ടുണ്ടാവില്ല
a problem. Shin and Martin, where are
അതെ
they?
റൈസ് അവനെ
Trying to
കൊന്നിട്ടേ
get closer,
ഉള്ളായിരുന്നു
and Shin on the site itself. Look at him tucked in forward to Martin. It's He's still doing damage, but look at the HP here, Boaster. Surely he's got enough for this one. Martin's close to the timing. I don't think he's got any more time. Martin goes
വണ്ണക്കില്ല
another round.
It
എന്തൊരവസ്ഥയാണ്
was 1 HP for the majority of those fights. Just being able to again just cause issues by staying alive for a ridiculous amount of time. And I don't know if I've ever seen anybody jump down from the top rope and use a nightfall at the same moment. Also, that one kill from Magnum, that takes away the Rolling Thunder. That removed the entire plan.
ആ റേസിന് കോള് കൊടുത്തില്ല
The nightfall was
അത് നല്ല കോള് കൊടുക്കണേ
but
ചിലപ്പോ കണ്ടിട്ടുണ്ടാവില്ല കേട്ടോ അടി വന്ന്
basically ruined the
അതെ
setup of
അത് വല്ലാത്ത പറയാം പറഞ്ഞിട്ട്
That's the
കാര്യമില്ല
first time we've seen them test that A
നമുക്ക്
side as well.
കണ്ടോണ്ടേയിരിക്കും
Because, again, if you roll your mind back to every time we've seen kind of Fnatic on this
One
map,
bit.
the camera just gives them so much more freedom. Divide gonna go through. To see if they're up to anything here.
Alto അവിടെ ഇട്ടുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ വേറെ ലെവലാണ്.
Note this. Paranoia is perfect. He's got to fall
blind.
away here. Try and send one back. Maybe tee up Durka instead. Set that second layer into. Oh my God, Narrate. Oh, this guy's an animal.
ശരി
Good
കുറേ
point, a
ആളുണ്ടാവുമെന്ന്
second
ഡൗട്ടുണ്ട്.
They're so clean. Goddamn clean with it.
ഇച്ചാതി
Through
ക്ലീൻ.
to 1v5. The spike's already down. He might as well just go
5
back
HP
towards A.
3 HP അവന്.
What are you meant to do?
It's absolutely ridiculous.
ചോറ് എപ്പോഴും അങ്ങനെയാണല്ലോ 3 HP.
Give N 3 duelists, he'll win you a tournament. That's what it seems like at this point. He's done it with Gambit, and I don't know what miracles he's pulled off to get players like Thomasy ready for the smoke roll. Martin and Narrate on this double duelist is just fearsome.
ആ ഒരു പ്ലേ കിട്ടാത്ത
What
പോലെ.
do here? Is there even any point?
ആരും അറിയില്ല വല്ലിയ.
ഞാൻ ഇവിടെ ഇല്ല.
Just trying to drift
അവിടെ
away.
റിസൾട്ട് ഉണ്ടെങ്കിലേ.
ഓ അതെങ്ങനെ അതെങ്ങനെ
Even then,
അതെന്താടിയാണോ?
clutching at straws.
മാരകട്ട സത്യം. അതെങ്ങനെ അടിച്ച് അതങ്ങനെ കറക്റ്റ്. ആ അതങ്ങനെ കറക്റ്റ്. ആ സാറ്റിന്റെ സൗണ്ട് വെച്ചിട്ടാണ് തോന്നുന്നു.
I don't think I saw this one happening.
ഞാൻ പ്രെഡിക്റ്റ് ചെയ്തോണ്ട്
I'd imagine the
സമ്മതിച്ചിട്ടു.
production would have got the UI wrong, if anything, but hey, producer Kevin is absolutely perfect these days.
sound
We
എടുത്താന്ന്
don't
തോന്നുന്നു.
question our Kev. He's on
ആ
the money.
സ്മോക്കിന്റെ ഉള്ളിൽ.
Now, so he's
ഇൻസ്റ്റിങ്ക്റ്റ്
not on
ആണ്
the money this time around.
അത് രണ്ട് സൈഡിലേക്ക് അവൻ അടിക്കും പക്ഷെ അത് കറക്റ്റ് സെന്ററിലേക്ക് അടിക്കും.
They've got a couple of, well, they've still got Chronicles ult. That's still been sticking around, but they just haven't had opportunity to use it. It feels like Common Core have been almost.
What is Narrate about to do?
I don't know. I'm a bit nervous because I've
ഇനി
just seen
ഫനാറ്റിക് ഒരു കളിയായിരിക്കും.
this whole.
എങ്ങനെ പോണേ ഇപ്പൊ.
But again, look at the other side as well. Dirk has just flown down middle. They know this is going to be an ABs. Like there's no subtlety to this. He's just TP'd. He's just pushed
ആ
away
TP
Alpha
നടുത്തെടുത്ത്
I think he's trying to just give the info over to the showstopper. That's literally the goal. A nice attempt from Leo, but it's nothing.
ആഹാ
അടിച്ച് ഉറക്കി.
അടിച്ചുറക്കെ രണ്ടെണ്ണായി പോയി.
Any sort of
ഓ
problems.
ഇത് റിവീലുമായി.
If I'm Fnatic, I'm calling it.
രണ്ടാള് റിവീലായി.
Pushed around here. Carmine Core. Yeah, it's a bit messy.
ഷോട്ട് ഗൺ സ്റ്റിംഗർ ഒന്നും ചെയ്യാൻ പോകില്ല.
Absolutely got him dead to rights poster. Yeah.
അവനുള്ള കെട്ടി.
Get a little bit of a one on the way out, but Dirk
ബ്ലൈൻഡ്
1v2.
പുഷ് ചെയ്യുന്നു.
Look at these post-plant positions. Really nice readjust. Not
രണ്ടൊരു
making it
heaven
comfortable
carry.
at all. No fair fight for Dirk to have.
ഹെവൻ പ്ലാന്റ് ആണെന്നാണ്.
He knows where they're going to be.
അവിടുത്തെ
The fact
സീറ്റ്
is they're wrapping around from another angle as well while the time is being bought. He's screwed.
There's a shoulder check.
Okay.
So I need to check on this. There it is. And there's the. Oh, Durka, you're still an animal on your aim, but it doesn't matter.
എന്റെ മോനെ സാർ ഭാഗ്യമുണ്ട്.
Again, they have answers for
തീരെ ഭാഗ്യമില്ല.
everything. We've seen them
ആ
almost
ഫ്ലിക്ക് കണ്ടോ?
overhit
അതെ
the
കണ്ടു
They
കണ്ടു.
were bullish in their
ഇതിലെ
approach. They were like, we are
welcome.
hit B, and Fnatic have hit the brakes because KC have been stringing together rounds now. They're getting into it.
The original plan is to show
അൾട്ടിലോട്ട് സൈഫറിനെ പോയി അടിച്ചേ.
Martin goes, you know what, I can have this
ആ
one
ആ
myself.
സാധനം
I
ഭയങ്കര
think he
കിട്ടില്ല.
actually gets hit by his own teammate Showstopper because he killed the guy before he did it. It's just, I feel like
ഇവര്
these two
എന്ത്
players,
കളിയാ
especially Martin and Narrate,
ഞാൻ
they have a
ഫനാറ്റിക്
plan and
മഴപൊട്ടൽ
sometimes
പോട്ടെ ഞാൻ
they're
കണ്ടില്ല.
styling on their opponents so hard they don't even need the plan anymore.
This
മാരി
just
അറ്റാക്കിന്
doesn't feel
ഒന്നും
real
ഒരു
here.
തേങ്ങ
There's
ഒക്കെ
something
ചെയ്യാൻ
about
പറ്റില്ല.
this
ഞാനും
that
വെള്ളം
feels
കുടിക്കില്ല.
completely out of character. I mean, you're looking at that scoreboard, and it's not really about kills if you're, you know, if you're talking big game, but you want to see activation from, you know, Durka, Alpha, Chronicle, and Leo. If I'm honest, Boasters towards the top of the board, he's doing great. We saw that hold towards B. He was desperately doing what he can.
Pronax in it.
ഇതെന്താ
Pronax top of the board, that means they're not winning.
കേസിനേക്കാളും വലിയ മാറ്റ ടീമാണ് ലൗഡ്. അവരെ പൊട്ടിച്ചാണ് ഫനാറ്റിക്.
I had NA being really
വരന്നില്ല
upset
ആൾക്കാര്.
by, you know, saying Cutler shouldn't be the
ആ
one.
ഇവരെന്നെ
That's a long time in the past.
അതിലെ ഒരു റൗണ്ട് മറ്റേ
for KC, right?
3-10 10 ലൗഡ്
We've seen this
3
mid here,
ഫനാറ്റിക്. അത്
they've got
കംബാക്ക്
nice,
അടിച്ച്
high
ഒരു
tempo,
ഫനാറ്റിക്.
big pressure towards it. They've been able to a couple of times outdo Alpha and Boaster on that nice
Champions
setup they had
final.
there. They've been bullying Chronicle aside. He's been struggling to
ആ
find his footing,
ടീമാണ്
which is
ഇവിടെ
rare,
കിടന്ന
right?
മുമ്പാണ്.
ക്രോണിക്കലിനെ ബുള്ളി ചെയ്യാ.
You don't see bad series
അവൻ
on
ആദ്യം
him.
തീർക്കും ഇപ്പൊ.
He's just not had much play here. And it looks
ഒരു
like they've explored
പട്ടി
that
വരെ
A side.
കൊടുത്തതായി.
Sure, they've kind
ഇത്രയും
of
വലിയ
pressured that.
ടീമിന്.
They're coming back towards B. Back once again. Let's see if they can handle it this time. Massey creeping closer this time. He has to.
A lot of
ഒരു
what
kill
Fnatic were
കിട്ടുന്നില്ല.
doing just moments ago was taking that B main control. And KC, I don't even know if they
ആ
plan to
കേജ്
go towards
ട്രിഗർ
B
ചെയ്യാൻ
side.
വേണ്ടി
It doesn't
ചാടി
look like it.
വന്നു.
Their whole plan is just to force Fnatic back, remove their information, and pressure elsewhere.
I'm looking at the positions. I'm looking at that spike. It was drifting up towards the vents, but they've opted against it here. Minute still to play with. No ults for KC. On the other side, Alpha's got his and Chronicle, of course. Still with that, but they've kept the 3 players towards A, so maybe feeling like it is time to break through.
fnatic തോൽക്കും
That B site.
തോൽക്കും ഉറപ്പാറാൻ
Breaking
പറ്റില്ല
up here is
കേട്ടോ
not easy.
ഒരു അടിപൊളി ടീം തന്നെയാ
I think
നല്ല
they still
ടീമാണ്
firmly believe
കമ്പാക്ക്
it's going
അടിക്കാൻ
to be on this
പറ്റിയ
side of the map. They are
പക്ഷെ അത്
nowhere near
ചെയ്യാൻ
rotation,
പറ്റുള്ള
only
ഫനാറ്റിക്കിന്
just using the Tiger. Now they'll have the info.
ചുമ
They might be
പൂട്ടിക്കളയാണ്
too late.
Now let's see if they can weather the storm.
വളരെ ബെഡിലെത്തി
No way! Booster is
അത്
dead
കണ്ടോ
to
അതൊക്കെ
ആ
rights.
മിഡിലുള്ള
Way
ഫ്ലാഷും
out that one. And
ഈ
Alpha's
സാധനം
on
അല്ലേ
Maybe
മെയിനുള്ള
Chronicle's
സാഹചര്യം
great flirt towards the first.
എന്റെ
Can't swing the
മോനെ
second though. KC have bodies. They've still got this lovely positioning in heaven. Shin's still here. He's holding this safe. Those long road rotations are not going to do enough here. Leo would have to clear out, try and find this player who's drifting in the middle. He'd have to do so much. And he knows that's just not happening. It's time to save.
No, they've had him almost out of the game. That's been the insane thing so far. Like you can see the way that Fnatic was setting up. They fully believed this was going to be an
ആ
ace.
മിഡിൽ ഒരു ബ്ലൈൻഡും
And the thing
കൊടുത്ത്
is, I think a lot of it comes down
മേളിലുള്ള
to the
അവൻ
team because I
സീനായി
saw a round ago.
റേസ്
he
നേരെ
started throwing
ഫാക്കിൽ അടിച്ച ആ
infects onto the A
ബോക്സിന്റെ
side and would just TP to the
മേളിൽ
other side
വന്ന്
of the map.
നേരെ
He's
അടി
with the team when they execute.
പക്കാ കളി
And it just leaves the Fnatic are almost left in doubt. Like,
ഒന്നും ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റില്ല
we could still be here, so we have to use utility. I have to stay here while you use the utility to cover
താഴ്ന്ന്
you.
സപ്പോർട്ടും
And in the
കൊടുക്കാനും
meantime, they're like,
പറ്റില്ല
right, guys, execute. And there's, well, you saw what happened to Boaster.
ഇല്ല സാധനം
Blinded
ഓപ്പി സാധനം
completely and just a
7-3.
blast back up. Like, yeah, you're screwed.
Yeah, there's no getting away from that. And this, and I don't even want to put it on Boaster, for example. You can't
ഈ
escape that.
സാധനം
That was
നോക്ക്
targeted. Look at him.
ഇത്
There's
കറക്റ്റ്
no way
ആയിരുന്നു
out. They've seen that position. They've been learning as they go, and they've absolutely executed. It's just perfection. I'm waiting to see if we see even a back-to-back timeout from Fnatic potentially coming in. Some, I mean, they are struggling here. If they don't find a solution, they are watching Madrid slip through their fingertips. For a team that is meant to be championship level, grand finalists, you know, you're talking the heavy hitters. Missing Madrid is unforgivable.
Same again. Boaster wanting to try and challenge for control. And it's actually more imperative in this round because look at the buy.
ഹൈപ്പർ അവിടെ ഏലാലേ കളിക്കുന്നത്
Great attempt on
Trap
the Paranoid to slow this
packet
down.
attack.
He is under
You're
so much
seeing
scrutiny here. He's trying to get out of
Okay.
danger. Does he get to live? Does
Trap
he
packet.
keep his life? He does on the back of Leo here. That's
Oh,
fantastic.
wow.
The boys are playing together this time.
ആ
Fnatic
ബെയ്റ്റ്
has
ഒമ്മന്റെ ബെയ്റ്റ് അടിപൊളി
4-5 basically playing on this one. Leaving Alpha alone at A, just saying,
Toma,
just stack the
അല്ലല്ലോ,
bodies. Keep them all here. We need numbers.
ആ
It's
ഹീൽ
worked
ചെയ്തു
for now. Magnum and Shin, though.
അവിടെ ഹീൽ ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ട്
Can they make this costly? Can they do any more damage to them? What can they do about this?
ഒമ്മ ഏല കളിക്കണല്ലേ ബീലൊരു തേങ്ങ
Right, you look at these
ഉണ്ടാക്കുന്നില്ല
two players,
ഒമ്മനൊന്നും
especially
ഉണ്ടാക്കാൻ
Shin. I think he's
പറ്റുന്നില്ല
a 4-on-4 or
ഇത്രയും
something right now because
വീക്കാണ്
Sony Impact
പക്ഷേ
has
ഒമൻ
really been in
സൈഫർ
post using his utility well.
ഭയങ്കര
Doesn't need
വീക്കായിട്ട്
to get
തോന്നുന്നു
those
സൈഫർ
kills, just
വരല്
staying alive.
നമ്മളൊക്കെ
They are gonna
സൈഫറിന്
have
കണ്ടാ
an opening on that
റെപ്പേറ്റാ
ace. Now, of course, the count is here.
അതെ
Alpha's going to be able to spot this, but for Fnatic, you're not taking any gambles at this stage.
ഓ
You're
സൈഫർ
now
അവിടെ
leading the
നീങ്ങി
map
പോയി
by
വന്നവിടെ
a considerable margin, and you're in a 5v2. You have no reason to try and play this individually.
Trap ഒക്കെ
He
അവിടെ
already
കിട്ടിയാ
has
മതി.
the info that they're on that side of the map.
I think I might have
ഇവരെന്ത്
preferred to
കൂളായിട്ട്
see
എടുത്ത്
30
പോയൊക്കെ
seconds left
ചെയ്യുന്നു
here just to keep space so you don't get someone trying to slip ahead. Because again, if you're Carmichael, you're looking for a pick, right? You're looking for anyone
Five
here.
versus
You know,
two.
you're trying to make
Oh.
get that. That's why I'd have liked maybe to have
No,
one
no,
player
no.
a bit closer near to this, but that's fine. They have got all the information, right? Look how much they're investing for this one. Shin, they've got to work in perfect unison. Magnum and Shin have to be a single player near on at this point. Fnatic are being loud. Oh, the top. Oh my god, Shin. Oh my god, he almost caught Boaster. It's a 1v2 and it's very much doable. But look
ഈ
at
കളത്ത്
the
പറ്റാതെ ഫനാറ്റിക് പിന്നെ മുമ്പിൽ
already on the spike.
വെക്കൂലെ കളി
Damage! He takes down Boaster. 5
എന്റെ
bullets.
മോനെ
That's all he's got. And he's got a 1v1 up against Alpha. Another
അഞ്ച്
tower.
ബുള്ളറ്റുള്ളൂ
അതറ്റ
അഞ്ച് ബുള്ളറ്റ്
It's close. But they've
അതറ്റ
got it.
അടിച്ചിന്റെ ഫിനാറ്റിക്
Barely making it out of that.
തീർന്നു
ഒന്നുമില്ല.
അത് റൗണ്ട്
5v2.
ആ റൗണ്ട് തോറ്റിരുന്നെങ്കിൽ ഫനാറ്റിക് ജയിക്കൂലെ കളി
5v2.
പിന്നെ എമ്മാരി കളി
And it was down to Alpha.
ഷിന്ന്
I
വെറുതെ
guess Shin
തീർത്തു വന്നത്
was just really playing
അത്
a passive
4-2
role because the second he was given an
അതാലോചിക്കണം
opportunity,
അതാണ്
അല്ല
വണ്ടി
5v2 വരുന്നു
basically
5v2
Alpha just
വരുന്നു.
sitting in a smoke
ആ
and hoping
ഇവിടെ
that he picked.
ഇവിടെ
Like, if he
നിന്ന്
doesn't
ഒരെണ്ണം
pick there,
പോയില്ലേ
he's won the
ആ
round.
ഫസ്റ്റ് തന്നെ റേസ് ചെയ്യാത്ത
It's the right decision, but that's disgusting as well. When you have 14 bullets, you can't spam, so he had to get it bang on. That's not the sort of round you expect to see, but I guess for Fnatic at this
ഒന്നും
stage,
പറയണ്ട
they're on the board. They're getting something.
പറയാറായിട്ടില്ല അത്
This is nerve-wracking time now.
They did this last time. It's the same execute. They have that cosmic divide, then they throw in the fake. Everything, they did the exact same thing last time, and then he TPs back to the other side of the map.
Great Seekers though, really nice. This should keep at least Leo nearby, but that's another individual. Narrate's already on the site, he's been caught by the Seeker, but he's drawing out the attention. They know Leo's on the site, it was a sacrifice earlier on, but Leo, a reminder, a stark reminder who they are. Because, you know what, in the last couple of rounds, you'd be forgiven for forgetting, because this has not been traditional Fnatic. This has been a shaky look from them. And KC have looked the better team on that half.
Sky Flash.
Honestly, I think if it wasn't for Boaster and his ability to delay and actually have some high impact frags, I think we're looking at a 9-3, 10-2 maybe. Like, he has had some big rounds in this. And that's the thing. They fell for that hook, line, and sinker. They were all running in the other direction, and Boaster stuck around and just about did enough for the rotation to come in.
Yeah, I liked the investment of the Seekers. I mean, it had to be there anyway, but it is nice to kind of add that just safety net of, right, but they are here. We can commit to this. But again, it did feel like Fnatic were never on the right side. They were never comfortable in those positions. We go in on the second half. Carmine Core are leading 7-5. One map to the good. They face Fnatic. A bit of contact. You did a little bit of chip damage, you got all ahead of yourself, you got all excited. Boaster, are you chasing this? This is really dangerous. Fnatic
seized.
What are they doing? Fnatic needs to be so careful here. Magnum didn't know the damage he's done, maybe just trying to keep his life, not, you know, overextend a little, but Fnatic were ferocious in that, just almost overly hunting them down.
Only middle control currently available for Fnatic. I was going to say at the beginting, this is kind of where you expect Durka to step up. This is where the utility is centered around him taking control. Within the early seconds, again, somewhat to a mistake. Just reloading while peeking an angle. It's not something you expect to see. And KC have been there to capitalize every single time. Look at the positions they're currently holding. You have 2 players within A, the rest basically in spawn. They're very happy to give up that B site. And again, similarly to the last map, they are willing to play the retake more often than not.
Slowly
and cautiously. They are down to 20 seconds here, and they got still a lot of sight to clear. Shin not really deterred yet. 15 seconds, spike on the way. Now there's a problem because Shin's still on the back line and he hasn't been pried out of place. Luckily, Chronicle is nuts in this game, so he should be able to get him a plant. Leo going to catch anyone trying to look towards heaven.
They're pushing.
Who's close? Oh my god, Magnum is right on them! And that is not a plant! That's not a plant for Leo! He can't do anything! There's nothing to be done here! He just has to sit back and watch as the defuse comes in right under his nose! He's just had to sit there and watch KC pick up the first in the second half.
This is what they do. Again, like, I feel like Fnatic sat there and went, okay, well, they're at least going to give us a little bit of respect. They're not just going to go sprinting straight through onto the side. The insta-kill from Magnum on the player who's actually trying, not planting, it's just ridiculous. And you see Boaster doesn't even have time to react. Because of that, Leo is so far away.
Right click and
they
left
get
click.
themselves the pistol under their belt again. And while for Fnatic, you kind of hoping one of those heroes sort of arises and gives them something here, because KC are looking like the confident ones.
Someone pull on the cape. Someone get going. It's not going to be Leo this round.
It's not
going to get much more than that. Nope, Martin trying to heat up here.
No.
Oh, yeah, beautiful.
I'll fall back now.
But again, even seeing them keeping composure at these points, not overheating too badly. You know, again, you want them confident, you want them taking challenges, taking those fights like they are favored, but you don't want them going too far. You don't want to see a rifle fall to the other hands, right? Those rounds have to be cleared.
Martin Daisy.
Much better than that. And you have to look at this now as what were the team's expectations. I've spoken to Eng, Zeish. They said we just want to play as many matches as possible. We want to learn. Fnatic in interviews have gone, our goal is to win all 3 internationals. You might not even get to one unless something changes rapidly. And right now, we're always going to talk about this. Like, okay, now Fnatic will come back. Now Fnatic will come back. I think it's to the point where we almost have to say KC have been by far the better team in this match so far.
No, they have. I don't think that's... Everyone does like saying that, well, really biased to Fnatic, but every time I just cast Fnatic, they win. It's very hard to not just call it how it is. But this is so much better. Seeing them come into this, watching them throughout this season, as it's showing everything. They've played so many games.
Yep, right there.
So there's nothing hidden.
അവർക്ക്
Right?
Fnatic
You
strategy
reinvent a little
നല്ലോണം
bit,
അറിയാം.
but again, you're playing so close to those previous games. They're still coming back in with new looks. They're still operating at such a high level. For Fnatic to fall to it feels almost unthinkable, unforgivable. For Fnatic not out yet. But that judge could be an issue. Yeah, Narrate has to show his hand there. Couldn't have been handled by Magnum, so that kind of shuts the door a little on Heaven for now.
Even still, you look at the positioning on the other side of the map. Martin watching, good jiggle coming out from... They are prepared for this sort of push. It's what Martin can get is the main thing. And if Narrate can get there in time...
Good flash, and Narrate absolutely good, but he couldn't quite make it work. Martin still with the trade out, and they keep that vent pressure safe. It gives him time to look towards ramp. This is an isolated fight. Fortunately for Fnatic, Alpha is wild. He deals with Martin and gives them a chance towards the side, but have they checked on Tomasi? No, now they know, but can he do any more? He's surrounded, he's got problems up top, but they've got 10 seconds. Fnatic are running short on time here. They've got to get a move on. 8 seconds, where's the plan? It's fallen back into the hands of Chronicle. He has to get this down, and they're closing the gap. Chronicle, this has to be everything! Watch out! He needs to Reminding you why he is the backbone, the safe man, the rock of Fnatic.
Pure MVP അടിക്കുമോ?
Didn't feel like Casey did anything wrong there. Like normally you talk about a double peak, but they put the pulse, the stun on top of his head. You go, okay, well he's only got one chance to shoot me, but that's Chronicle. You give him one chance, he takes it. A lifeline.
ആ സ്റ്റണ്ണിൽ അടിച്ചു.
അതടിച്ചപ്പോ തന്നെ കളി വെച്ച് ആദ്യം കളി കഴിക്കണോ ഡയലോഗ് അടി.
They need more. They got to keep finding this. Martin's going hunting. He's after you, Alpha. Run, so far away.
ആ കളി കളിച്ചുണ്ടോ?
Right there.
മാപ്പ് നോക്കിയിട്ടുള്ള ബ്ലൈൻഡ് ആട്ടോ.
Alpha being absolutely fuming after this, I'll be very
മറ്റേ യൂറോൾട്ട് ചെയ്തപ്പോ ട്രാക്ക് ചെയ്തതാണ്.
Ridiculous set play. Like you never expect him. That in their heads, that's probably that's an information play. They're looking to see if we're there.
അതൊരിക്കലും വിചാരിക്കില്ലല്ലോ അത് കൊല്ലാനുള്ള കളിയാണ്.
Boom.
ആ കിട്ടുന്ന കളിയില്ലേ അത് നല്ലൊരു കോമ്പോട്ടോ. യൂറോനെ വെച്ചിട്ട് അടിപൊളി കോമ്പോ. യൂറോന്റെ പ്ലേ ഒക്കെ നല്ല പ്ലാനിങ് ആണ്. അത് പക്ഷേ ഈ ഡുവലിസ്റ്റിന് നല്ലൊരു സപ്പോർട്ട് ഉണ്ട്. അടിപൊളി കളി കളിക്കാം. പ്രത്യേകിച്ച് ഈ ഫ്ലാഷും കാര്യങ്ങളൊക്കെ അവർക്ക് കിട്ടിക്കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ സ്റ്റണ്ണും ഫ്ലാഷൊക്കെ അവർക്ക് കിട്ടിക്കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ പൊരിക്കാൻ പറ്റും.
Already you can see the adjustment. Alright, trying to thread the needle just right. Chronicle has the ult ready. Spamming towards CT, looking to isolate Narrate on the site. This is going to be very difficult to hold on to for Narrate. Things we said for Tomasi. There it is, he knows this is coming his way. Can he do anything about it though? No, Durka is quick to task. He knows his job, and he's got the follow-up. Fantastic from him. Plant should be in, don't think that's going to be denied. No, and the late presence on ramp. Just the icing on the cake.
Oh, these are the sort of rounds you sort of expect to see from Fnatic. Like having that set up into play for Durka. You give him all of that, he's going to hit the shot. He always does. And this time, like, I was maybe a little bit worried. Like the nade timing from Narrate was fantastic. Like they definitely had an idea that this was coming. They maybe just needed Tomasi to spam and hope that he would get something, but didn't work out for them this time. Fnatic breaking back with a relatively clean round. This was such a cool little set play. And that is the thing. This is where you can see that this young squad, they put the work in. Like, it's not like this team is formed, they've been chilling, it doesn't matter. We don't care how we do. Like they've been learning as they go, and we've always said this when it comes to especially Yoru comps. Sometimes the first time you catch someone off guard. The second time, well, for them it went pretty horrifically. They lost 13-4 to Team Heretics. Now, they've reimagined the same composition again.
Yeah, this is very impressive to witness. But again, We are now seeing 2 rounds back to
അവിടെ
back.
ഒരാളെന്നുള്ള കോളും
They're
കിട്ടി അപ്പോൾ
starting
അവർ
to
തിരിച്ചിങ്ങോട്ട്
find their
പോകുന്നു
footing
അത്
at least in this
ശ്രദ്ധിച്ചോ
half. It did take a little bit more work there. You know, Chronicles ult certainly setting that into motion.
Is that the most they've got in a row? It is. It definitely is. We can see it on the screen. But that's actually
That feels
ridiculous to think
silly,
about.
doesn't it? To keep it up though. Can't just be a flash in the pan. I kind of thought that was going to be it for KC. You know what I mean? Just that little, high tempo, little dangerous individuals. No, they are very much the real deal. But into this round, you're looking at Nari, you're looking at Martin, the rifles, right? That's the punchline of this joke.
Look how far back Fnatic are. Like, genuinely look at where the players outside of that B site are. They are still sat so far back, just waiting for KC to do something, because that's what they have been doing. And the fact is, Martin did make a move.
Yeah, I kind of like that they almost tried to bait that it was narrate there, but there was still going to be Martin close. Oh my god! Look at the damage. Look at Durka.
That boombot saved his life.
Yeah, literally saved his life. Fortunately for him, he can get a heal. Leo's going to invest that, but again, this is look at this hunting squad. They're sending out after Alpha. He's going to be feeling so uncomfortable. He felt the timing just right though. Credit to Alpha for that internal clock, right? Feeling out that there was something going on here, didn't like it. And the response from Fnatic is his slow creep towards B, trying to avoid those rifles, trying to keep them as far away as possible. Maybe the right choice here. But is it the right timing? So Massey's going to check this. It is when Durka's on the money. Plan's been seen. The players are nearby.
Sky flash at above my flash.
Here we go. Martin comes online. Magnum gets a rifle. Booster and Leo 13 seconds.
Correct flash.
Is going to go down.
Site like a flash at the back.
So does Leo. KC closing the gap. It's going to be on Leo. A 1v3. This is just unthinkable again. Shin.
ഒരു ജയിക്കാത്ത
Absolutely the real deal. This is map 2. And Fnatic are watching round by round Madrid get further away.
അല്ല അത് പുറത്താവില്ലേ ഇത് കളി കിട്ടിയാൽ
This pack mentality. They swing together, trade together, push together, and all around the map. It's almost like they're herding sheep. Like Fnatic are forced where they want them to go.
They play such good.
അതല്ല വാൻഡല് ചെറുപ്പം അവിടെ കളിച്ച് അത് മനസ്സിലാക്കണം.
But the fact that it works against Fnatic is great, right? But let's roll our minds back. When we say that, thinking man's Valorant, I'm not talking about the influence. I'm talking about Gambit back in the day, right? It was that they play beautiful Valorant. Always well spaced, great trades. They play as a pack. No round is lost. They try something every single time. We're seeing it. There's echoes of that kind of Gambit-esque style shining on KC. In all of these little rounds, these little moments where they play just good Valorant. And it's enough that Fnatic have touch base here. Because the coaches look a little lean back. I would be worried. I'd be nervous.
Yeah, no, especially for Elmer Buddy, like you have to bear in mind he is the one change. And that's a terrifying place to be if you're a coach. Like I'm not gonna sit here and say like, oh, if they lose it's entirely his fault because that is ridiculous.
Of course not.
Don't know if the community will be the same. People aren't quite as nice.
Nice or not, they got to come up with something here, right? This has been. This isn't a game that Fnatic should be trailing in like this, right? Like they have been pushed out of the server. KC have come in looking better prepared. They're playing better together. They've got better concepts, better comps. They've got individually. That feels obscene to say. It feels wrong to say. Martin, Nari have been nuts. Shin's been hitting as well this time. This has been genuinely an unfathomable game so far. But you get to witness history very few times, and this might be one of them. Let's see, though. We're not there yet. The line has not been drawn. Madrid is still on the cards. If Fnatic can close, Martin going to feel that first pressure and falls away.
Yeah, the thing is that was a rotate to the other side of the map. That was where they gambled initially. And now you're going to see that showstopper popped early. They're looking for an early fight, but there's no one. They're all the way in spawn at the moment. It does just seem like KC is reading the auto queue of the other side. They know where the script is going.
So many eyes and ears listening and watching what Fnatic are doing here. Yeah, but it's going to be a 5v5 possible retake, and that is I mean, maybe echoes of Lotus a little bit here. Divide going to come in. Is there something up the sleeve? Paranoia sent and narrate the first one in. Feeling brave. He's going to spot them out, but Doug is going to send Mac no way. Martin, great work from Chronicle on the back lines, but it is down to Shin now. 1v3. That's a lot to ask, and a lot of utility now put exactly towards him. And Chronicle, he's just going to be the bodyguard. If he has to stand there himself and stop him at the door, he will do. Yeah, he's done. Shin's off. They've done it. Fnatic again, string together another off the back of the timeout. They had a plan. They executed it well.
Yeah, I think it's one of the first times they haven't run into some sort of trap. Like there has been, there was no one on the B site. They managed to isolate it. They managed to take the space with that showstopper as well. Like we talk about Rosa ults, all the memes of not getting a kill, but ultimately that was the goal. Get into the site, get into the after plant, and KC definitely seemed like they had an idea, but yeah, these sort of opportunities, eventually we're going to see them step up.
I mean, again, how many times are we seeing Chronicle doing, you know, again, he's selling what, like 12 to 12? It's not exactly like that highlight scoreline, but the value he is providing in some of these is exceptional. So you got to really give credit where it's due there. Now, money's still standing for both sides. You know, starting to wane a little for KC. You're going to see that judge coming out. I mean, maybe not the end of the world here, but Boaster. It's a massive shot onto Massive. Boaster's been a bit of an unsung hero for this side in certain moments, but it's not just one side of aggression, and I think Fnatic have noticed that.
Yeah, they got all the info off the horn, and Tomazi trying to make a play off the back of it, this time shutting it down, and there was a push initially from Martin, but I just think he was too far behind. He would have had to run, sprint through mid, and knowing that there's 5 players on the other side, the value not really there. This is going to be huge, because this will actually ping that there's only one player on the B side. Fnatic instantly, okay, let's take this on.
Oh, he's going to invest the ult, he's trying it. Magnum, how much can one man do here? Yeah, look at this. Look at him trying to just dip, dodge and dive around all the bits of utility. It's great. Magnum, oh my god, he's throwing finding Boaster, catching Chronicle. Darker, can you bail him out from heaven? No! Martin's there. Teed up success story. He lived the entire round.
He completed a total wipeout course and then still got 2 kills at the end. Like, I've never seen anyone have to like jump over a nade. I think there was like just different utility flying all around him. Dodges a flash in the middle of it as well. I don't know how he manages to survive this round.
Call him Harry Potter. That man is the boy who lived. I don't know how he is standing. Genuinely, I don't get it. I don't get it.
Did it without a scar as well.
Oh my word. It's getting tense here, I love it. Even the crowd's getting so tense. You can feel the atmosphere shifting. Right? It's when you see 10, you think, that's not great. We're against 11's even worse.
KC pause again.
They let him sweat.
I don't, yeah, that's what it seems like, but I actually do think that a lot of the time these are proactive pauses coming out from Carmine Corp. It's like, okay, we won that round, we cheesed it a little bit, there was some heroics.
Yeah, we'll take that.
And I think also Eng just realizes, okay, if my squad gets that hype, I'll calm them back down. Get them back into the mindset, because the thing is they haven't been doing this off momentum or off of like, we're so hyped up, we're going to win these. They have been methodical in a lot of the way they played this round. They've been clever in how they actually set up different little pieces. Okay, sure, there's some.
I mean, I only have one question. What color is it? At this point, 11 to 8. Carmine Core leading Fnatic in map 2 after they claimed map 1. We go again. How much in the tank for Fnatic here? Any of these greats, these absolute heroes of who they are. Can one of them be the difference maker now? Boaster taking the trip to backside. Gonna commit. But Carmine Core, they're not playing on site.
Oh, it's this retake again. Now, the success of it last time wasn't particularly great. They're going early though.
Yeah, and this time it's working exceptionally well. Martin Narray gonna find a bit of success. Boaster still breathing is gonna keep things maybe tilting Fnatic's way. They have a touch of safety on the side. The smoke up, they're gonna get the plant down. Now time's on their side. So Massey, Shin, Martin, up against Alpha, Leo, and most of those names are so weighted towards one side. What can the young guns do?
Mercy having a little look, trying to set these guys up.
Here.
Allow them to work forward. Time being taken, they swing and they find. Both has gone down, but there's still a lot towards the backside. That's going to be Leo. The problem is he can't take that isolated fight, and he's going to have to just face this. He has to try and get in there. Shin's not stopping. Shin is not stopping.
Diffuse ചെയ്ത്
It's 11 for them. They are one
round
away from booking their ticket to Madrid to deny
ഒരു കളി പോലും
Fnatic
ജയിച്ചില്ലല്ലോ
the
ഇവര്.
first international of the year.
അടുത്ത് കേറണുണ്ട് പക്ഷെ എവിടെയൊക്കെ പിഴക്കണുണ്ട് ഫനാറ്റിക്
അടിച്ചു കയറല്ല ഒരു മാറ്റി ബാക്കോട്ട് പോണതാ.
അത് സത്യം. ഒരു ഡയലോഗ് കേട്ടപ്പോഴാ തോന്നി എല്ലാം പോകും.
That's all you can focus on at this point, 'cause they know it. You can feel it in the air. Something is wrong, and Martin.
അതെന്താ ഇവർക്ക് ഇപ്പുറത്ത് നോക്കണ്ടേ?
അതാണ് ഞാൻ നോക്കട്ടെ, കോർണർ ഒന്നും ചെക്ക് ചെയ്യണ്ട ഫനാറ്റിക് പോണം.
ആ പട്ടി എന്ത് പോക്കാ പോയത്?
മിഡ് വരുമ്പോ അവിടെ എന്തായാലും ഒരാളെ ക്യാമ്പ് ചെയ്യണ്ടാവും, അത് നമുക്കറിയാം.
ഇക്കില് നോക്കാതെ പോണേ.
4 more kills. 1 minute and 14.
നാറ്റീവ് ഇതേപോലെ തന്നെ
Can
ഉണ്ട്.
they live through it? Can they defend that long? Martin thinks so. He wants in. He's stealing him up.
അടിക്കാൻ വേണ്ടി
This is
യോറന
so much
ചാമ്പൻ വേണ്ടി
information. He
വന്നുണ്ട്.
sees everything. And look at Tomasi. Look at them closing in towards this.
ട്രിഗർ ഇരിക്കണത്.
He's rejoined on the other side. It does leave space towards 8. But now he waits. Does Fnatic go for this? You can see Chronicle curious. Alpha having a look. They're playing for retakes if they have to every single time. They're sitting so deep.
The thing is, at this point, Magnum's push B main, so he knows they're not going through that angle. So now everybody actually starts rotating back over to the A side. It might be Shin firmly within it, but the rest of the players are not far away.
Does Shin get a freebie here? Did Fnatic still think there's someone on the site? Do they think they've completely evacuated the site? What do Fnatic read into this? They're hesitating. 25 seconds of the spike is not here. It's on the way, but Shin has not been checked on yet. He's still here. Under the cover of darkness, he gets to survive for another couple of seconds. Deal with Alpha. Sight now starting to wave the Fnatic flag. The spike is down. Time's on their side. 4v4. Can they deal with this though? Leo trying to keep track on that lovely little smoke there towards CT. You're going to make it very difficult. I think Carmine Core going to be questioning how do they approach this heaven. The next opportunity. Tomasi's given him at least Boaster on a plate, but there's still 3 more. Leo, Alpha, and Chronicle to clear, and they will not make it easy. Leo will hold this line as best he can. Narrate going to try and skip forward, try and skip ahead. Time ticking. He's got one down. Oh, he's got a second. It's all on Leo. Oh, he cannot do enough. Where were you when the unthinkable truly happened? Carmine Core.
ഒരു നല്ല വൃത്തിക്ക് പ്ലാൻ ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ട്, വേറെ ഒന്നും നടക്കുന്നില്ല.
ഫൈനൽ TH versus KC.
This is unlike any of our expectations starting the day. Fnatic came in,
തമിഴ് പാട്ടിനെ വിളിച്ചില്ലേ?
Carmine Core.
ശരിയാണ്, ഇവിടെ കേട്ടാ പോലെ.
This is legendary stuff you've witnessed today. From literal 0 to hero, Carmine Core, that previous roster. This new collection, these young guns, these talents, full faith in the system. And my God, have they done bloody well. You cannot say they don't deserve this.
ആ റീടേക്ക് എല്ലാം റീടേക്കാ. ഇവർ കഴിഞ്ഞ കളി ഇങ്ങനെ തന്നെ. ലോട്ടസിലും കൂടുതൽ റീടേക്ക് അല്ലേ ഇവരെടുത്ത്? ഈ പൊട്ടിയവര് പെറുക്കുന്നതല്ലേ കൊറേ കാണിക്കുക.
അതവരെന്നെ കൊണ്ടെന്നെ പോടാ
കണ്ടോ, പൊട്ടിക്കഴിഞ്ഞവര് പെറുക്കുന്ന വൃത്തിക്ക് കാണിക്കും.
അതാ ജയിച്ചാരെ കാണിക്കാറ്.
ഒരേ ഊക്കല അപ്പൊക്കെ കിടന്നുറങ്ങാം.
ഞാനും പരാട്ടത്തിന്റെ കളി കണ്ടിട്ട് ഉറക്കം പറഞ്ഞു.
സത്യം ഒരു ഇതില്ലല്ലേ,
ഒരു സുഖമില്ലാത്ത കളിയായിരുന്നു. പറഞ്ഞിട്ട് കാര്യമില്ല, അവരെ നല്ലോണം കളിച്ച് കേസ്.
നല്ല കോർണർ ചെക്ക് ചെയ്യാതൊക്കെ കേറുന്നത് എന്ത്?
കുറച്ചൊരു പ്രശ്നങ്ങളുണ്ട്, കോർണർ ഒന്നും ചെക്ക് ചെയ്യാണ്ട് കയറി പോയില്ലേ.
എത്ര വട്ടം ഒരു വട്ടം ഒന്നുമല്ല.
ഏതൊരു അയൺ പ്ലെയർ അവിടെ ചെക്ക് ചെയ്യും അവിടെ. ഇവര് ചെക്ക് ചെയ്യാണ്ട് അങ്ങനെ ഒറ്റ കയറ്റണം അങ്ങനെ. അറ്റ്ലീസ്റ്റ് സാച്ചർ ചെയ്ത് പോകുമ്പോ അത് തിരിഞ്ഞെങ്കിലും നോക്കാൻ പാടില്ല.
അതാ വേറെ കോമഡി. സ്മോക്ക് അവിടെ ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്, അപ്പൊ ഇവിടെ ആളില്ലാന്ന്. അതൊക്കെ എന്ത് വെറുതെ പോയേക്കില്ല അതൊക്കെ.
അതെ, ആ റൗണ്ട് പോയി, ആ റൗണ്ടും തുലച്ചാല്. എപ്പോഴാ കളി? ഇനി മറ്റേ ഇവരുടെ തുടങ്ങും ഇപ്പൊ, VCT-CN ചൈനക്കാരുടെ.
എപ്പോഴാ?
അത് 1-2 തോന്നുന്നു, മാർച്ച്. നാളെ മറ്റന്നാൾ ചൈനീസ് ടീംസ് പറയുന്നുണ്ട്. അത് കഴിഞ്ഞ് നല്ലതെന്ന് തോന്നുന്നു. അത് കഴിഞ്ഞ് തുടങ്ങണേ നോർത്ത് അമേരിക്ക. അത് കുറച്ച് ദിവസം കൂടുതലുണ്ടെന്ന് തോന്നുന്നത്. അത് 5-ാം തീയതി 4-ാം തീയതി തുടങ്ങും. അതിന് ഓക്കെ
ബൈ.
ബൈ, നാളെ കാണാം. ഓക്കേ.
വെൽക്കം. ബൈ ബൈ ബൈ. എല്ലാവർക്കും ബൈ ഉണ്ട്, കിടലം ബൈ ഉണ്ട്.